Hello from Wales and lockdown. It's interesting times. I hope you're all okay. I want to start up by apologising because I've just discovered my microphone doesn't work with my new phone. So I hope you can hear me. If you can't, then I guess, yes, this video is never going to get uploaded, so that's irrelevant. But I'm here to talk to you about our Adara Waspy. And this is the second piece in our How to Choose Your Perfect Corset series. The reason that I thought this would be a good piece to look at is because it follows on really nicely from the eyelash that we looked at last time. They're both waspies, they're a very similar shape. The difference here is construction. So this gives me an opportunity to talk to you about what a difference construction makes. It's not just a case of all corsets work the same way, they really don't. Some are better for different jobs. The eyelash was the silk mesh waspy. If you haven't already seen that video, I will be linking it. But this piece uses coutil construction. The difference between those two is the eyelash has a little bit of give in it, it's very breathable, but the fact that there's give and a little stretch in that silk mesh means that we don't quite get the same compression. And compression is equal to comfort for some people, particularly if you have back problems. Compression is really what's going to give you that relief, I find. So coutil construction, we've got more rigidity. That also can make you feel a bit more supported. It's not for everyone, and if you're in the middle of a sweltering hot summer, you probably just want to go with the eyelash waspy. But this piece, not only do we have a much more sturdy corset in terms of very long-term use, we can use this for beginner waist training. So that's people who just want to dip a toe into the water. They're not ready for a bespoke waist training corset, but they really want to try regular tight lacing before they invest. This is perfect. This is exactly the right piece. It's not quite as good at stealthing as the eyelash waspy, but what I wanted to talk to you about today was semi-stealthing, which is a little term that I use when I'm talking to people who they want something to wear under clothing, but the sort of clothing they're wearing means they're not wearing skin-tight clothing over the top. They may be wearing looser shirts, things that have got a little bit of ease in them. That means we don't need to be quite so concerned about every microgram of bulk. That means we can go for a busk front, which has a little bit more durability as well. It means that we can have the sturdier fabrics, which in turn means we can have a bit more decoration. This leads you on to versatility. So with the Adara, we've got a piece that is beautiful, but it's also perfectly durable to wear under clothing. Normally, if we're stealthing regularly, I'm advising against embellishment because it's just going to get rubbed away with the friction of your clothing. You might not think that makes a terrific difference. I find that it does in terms of the piece staying looking great. It's not going to completely wear it into holes necessarily, depending on the embellishment. But if you are going to go for anything like that on a corset that's going to be worn under your clothing, you really want to be going with something like this. This is a much more durable lace that I use for this. It's also the fact that instead of cutting appliques, which is beautiful and delicate, and you can see here, we are using the scalloped edge of the lace. So it's already finished in the factory. We don't need to worry about that going anywhere else. So we've got beautiful eyelash lace here to make the corset gorgeous to show off over your clothing or underneath. And it's just a beautiful secret that only you know about. That's fine too. Well, the thing that I should also mention is one thing I flagged up with the eyelash is we only have the ivory and the black colourway. Here we have loads of colour options. What I'm showing you here is the grey sateen coutil, the black contrast boning channels, which is another option in our shop, and the black lace. So the lace comes in ivory or black, but the coutil comes in black, white, the grey seen here, two different shades of like a cream and a beige. It's gorgeous. It's got a really nice sheen to it. It's quite a rigid feel to this coutil. It's wonderful. So that means that between the contrast boning channels and the main fabric, you can create some really different looks. I think personalising pieces like this is such a large part of the fun of making a customised corset order. You're trying to think through what your style really is. You can make it look different to somebody else who's the last 10 people who bought that corset before you. It doesn't have to be the same as theirs. You've got something that you chose and is your style. So I really like doing that for people, and I love seeing what you choose. Every time an order for one of these comes in, I'm like, what contrast colour did they go for? Is it going to look wonderful? But yes, so that's me getting excited about things that I need to chill out about. There we go. So yes, the Adara is a really great choice for waist training, semi-stealthing, so nothing too fitted, but it's still a good piece for underclothing. It's very versatile. You're also going to have lots of colour options to really make it look fantastic for you. While I'm talking to you about corsets, I did just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting us through lockdown. It was so scary when this all kicked off. If you're watching from the future, it's the COVID-19 thing, we're all having an absolute nightmare. In Britain, we self-employed people were left hanging about whether we were going to have government support for quite a long time. I say quite a long time because it's very scary when you are in a fairly precarious situation, having worked 13 years, in my case, to create a business that is your passion and your drive. And suddenly something comes down where you're thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to post orders. That means I can't trade. So everyone who, thankfully, we were able to keep trading, and you guys kept us absolutely frantic with orders. I haven't been this busy in months, and I was so grateful. It's like Christmas kind of busy. So not only thank you to everybody who ordered, but thank you to everybody who has been sharing our posts, who's been joining the recent selfie competition. The entries were fantastic. Please go back and look through our social media for that. But also I have people just emailing to check in and say, I can't order now, but I can put a down payment on some design work. You know, people were really, really thinking about how to support the designers and the small businesses that they really value. So I'm just reaching out to anybody who is still in that position of looking for ways to treat themselves and cheer themselves up during lockdown. Please support your small business friends first. We need it so much more than the big corporations do. But there's so many amazing businesses out there, and I hope this is going to carry on where people are choosing gifts and their first thought is, I'm going to check Etsy, I'm going to check my local Facebook group for people who have local businesses. It's such we give you variety, we give you value for money, and we do our little happy dance when you order, and the happy dance, let me tell you, is a thing to behold. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed our little look into the Adara Waspy. I hope you feel I've answered any questions you might have had, but if not, there's the comment section, and I look forward to hearing more from you in there about what corset styles you found really work for your shape or your needs or your lifestyle. Talk to me, I'd really like to know. But thank you for coming back, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye bye!